Over 70% of women in the UK have experienced sexual harassment in public. That's not just a number, that's your sister, your classmate, your friend. And it's not just women. People get harassed for what they wear, what they look like, who they're with, their race, their religion, their identity. So even if it's never happened to you, you've probably seen it. And if you haven't yet, you will. So when that moment comes, what will you do? Imagine you're on the tube. A group of older guys, maybe early 20s, are talking loudly. One of them starts on a girl sitting nearby. She looks about your age. It starts like a joke. Hey, you dropped your smile, or smile for me, darling. But it doesn't stop. They get louder, they start rating her to each other, laughing, and saying things they probably think are smooth. But she doesn't laugh. She's clearly uncomfortable and just looks straight ahead. People around you start looking. Maybe someone rolls their eyes, but no one says anything. In your heart, you know that something's wrong, yet you freeze, and somewhere in your head, you start imagining a different version of this moment. You stand up to them, humiliate them for hitting on a younger girl. The men back off begrudgingly. The girl looks relieved and everyone claps. We've all seen this in movies, right? And sometimes that can feel like justice. But worse than being unrealistic is problematic. It centers the story around the hero, not the person being harmed. Their pain becomes the background for someone else's glory. It frames intervention as performance. Sharp words, public spectacle, a crowd that claps. It teaches that the goal is domination, to humiliate the harasser, win the moment and walk away stronger. There's no space for aftermath and no care for what the victim actually needs. And if you copy what you've seen on the screens, you might make things worse for them, for you and for everyone else. But back to reality. The moment slips and you don't do anything. You freeze like most people do, and it's easy to feel disappointed in yourself afterwards. You replay what you could have said, you feel guilty or ashamed for doing nothing. Freezing, though, is a natural stress response, one of the most basic human instincts. It's what your brain does when it's trying to keep you safe. And safe doesn't always mean avoiding violence. Sometimes it just means avoiding attention, avoiding embarrassment. A lot of people experience this kind of social anxiety, and it's very real. Even when you're not in physical danger, the idea of being stared at, judged, or challenged is enough to stop most people in their tracks. Especially true when the people causing harm seem older, more confident, louder, maybe physically stronger, and even more so when no one else is doing anything either. So if you're not meant to shout, to fight, or deliver some dramatic takedown, what can you do?